Hello beautiful people, it's a girl Jeannie and it's Jeannie's Signatures. So today I'll be making this beautiful, simple, beginner friendly gown. It's beautiful, it's cute, it's very simple, and you can rock it anywhere. You can rock it casually, you can rock it as in whether you're going for a wedding or a party, you can rock it anywhere. It's so beginner friendly and very beautiful. So thank you to all my amazing subscribers. So if this is what you're interested in, please kindly watch till the end. And if you've been watching my videos and you've not subscribed, abba, hi, please kindly hit on the subscribe button and kindly like and share. So without wasting further ado, let's get right into it. So I have my fabric folded on the table. So in order to determine the fabric you have unfold, just divide the biggest part of your body measurement into four, and then you add probably 2 or 3 inches sewing allowance as you would want. So now I just want to get the length of the gown. So if you see that on the thumbnail, the one on the thumbnail is a little bit shorter than this one I made, but because my client wanted us not to be too exposed around the lap area. But if you want yours to be exposed, like you want the gown to before the net to start like shorter, please just do whatever you want. Just measure where you want it to get to. It's just optional here. So I've gotten the length of the gown and I'm cutting off the excess, as you can see. And this fabric is so beautiful. In fact, this camera did not even do justice to the beauty of this clothes. The material is very beautiful. So now the first thing I'll be making now is just to divide our shoulder measurements into two. So this is like I said, is a beginner friendly tutorial. If you're a beginner and you want to make something trendy, something different from the usual norms, please just go ahead and do this. Make this gown for yourself and you'll be happy you did. So I just got my shoulder divided into two, and then I had half an inch for seam allowance. When you look at the clothes, you think it's a cut together cloth. No, it's really, I don't think it's a cut together. So now I'm just trying to measure exactly what I have on my shoulder, down on that my armhole area to get my armhole line. So I'll be connecting those two together so that the lines will be straight. So we have our armhole curve, as you can see. Yes. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to just come down for 1 inch for my shoulder slope. And then for my neck width, I initially made use of 3.5, but I ended up adding half an inch and I made it 4 inches. So I just decided to make it 4 inches. So whatever you have, 3.53 inches is good depending on the shoulder of your customer. So, or how your customer wants it. So to that shoulder slant, I'll be adding my half an inch for the shoulders joining immediately because I don't want to hear stories that touch the heart. So I'm just adding my half an inch straight away like so. So having gotten that, the next thing we're going to be doing now is to get our armhole curve. So for my armhole, I'll just come down, you know the way we usually do it, divide into two, you get the midpoint. Then for the front armhole, you come in by half an inch or 0.75 of an inch. And so I'm getting my bust measurement divided by 4, and then I'll be connecting all those points together. I just decided to add my sewing allowance all the way once and for all. So I will carving that out like you would see me do. Just join it like so. So if you've watched up to this level, please hit on the subscribe button. Thank you. So just carve it out like so. So you could see we already have our armhole for the front. So now the next thing I'll be going to do is to get my half length. That is my shoulder to my waist. So whatever that is in your own measurement, please kindly mark. And then I'll be getting my shoulder to my hip measurement. Now, if you don't have your shoulder to your hip, you can as well make use of your waist to your hip. Yeah, you can make use of that. It's almost the same thing. So I'll be rolling this out on a straight line, but more appropriately for this type of gown, I would advise you measure your shoulder to your hip. So we have our bust, our waist, and then our hip line. So now I'll be inputting the other measurements. So for my waist measurement, the waist measurement of my client is 38 inches. So 38 divided by 4, 19. Oh, no, 38 divided into 2, that was 19. 19 divided into 2, I think that should give us 9.5. So that is what I'll be marking here. And lest I forget, I totally forgot to it was an afterthought anyways. I just added my sewing allowance here. But if you want to make yours, please kindly add 1 inch for that. It was an afterthought. I didn't add my that allowance to this, but I just like managed it when I wanted to do it. You understand what I'm saying later. So I went to my hip. I divided it by 4 as well, and then I added sewing allowance, and then I carved it out like you see me doing. So if you want it that for yours too, like the way I did it exactly, please remember to add 1 inch for that on your waist area, because I'm going to be doing a dart. And so whatever I have on my hip allowance with the sewing allowances, I'm going to be taking it to the hem of the gown. So you can see it's not a pencil gown as you saw on the thumbnail. So whatever is on your hip measurement plus your sewing allowances, just take it all the way down. So we're almost through with the front piece. So I'll just come to the upper part like so, and then get my neck depth. So for this neck depth, I think I made use of 4 inches as well. So what I used was 4 by 4. But if you want yours to be turtleneck, you can just do it turtleneck. And if you want yours deeper, you can as well do that. So I'll be connecting my neckline, which is going to be a round neckline, like you see me do. Yeah, so we're basically through with the front piece, and then I'll go ahead and cut it out. So I'm cutting it out from the length, as you see. Sorry, my camera couldn't capture that. I'm very sorry about that. And so when cutting out this armhole area, I'm going to be cutting like I'm cutting the back armhole. I would not touch the front armhole first, so that I would use this as a template to cut out the back first before adjusting my front armhole. So I'll cut it out like so, and then I'll cut the shoulder slope. Remember, you've added ½ inch for the seam allowance, and then I'll cut out the neckline as well. So like I always say, fabric placement is very, very important. You can see the way I placed my fabric. I checked the patterns very well before placing them. Please, you just don't cut. You need to check out so that everything would align and it will bring out the beauty of the material. So I've folded another fabric, as you can see, and I placed my front piece on the back piece, and the only thing I adjusted for the back piece is my zipper allowance, and of course the neckline. I don't want it to go too down, so I just came down for 2 inches for my neck depth for the back, and then I'll be cutting everything exactly as it is. So you can see that the way I placed the front is exactly the way I placed it on the back. So whatever I have in the front, I'm going to be having at the back, because the pattern is well arranged. Please always take note of these things. It's very important. Some people don't really give a hoot about this, but this speaks volumes. It makes your work easier, and it gives your clothes this beauty that you, in fact, when people see itself, they will say, this person is really knows what he or she is doing. So please kindly take note of that. So I've cut that out. I made use of 1.5 inches for my zip allowance, lest I forget. So that's the zip allowance. I just notched that. So I was slitting this open because the back piece, of course, has to be in 2 pieces. So I was separating this. I was cutting out the savage end because I had the savage end at the length of the gown. So that was what I was trimming off. Sorry, the camera couldn't capture that. So that is why I'm just like explaining, so that you won't feel I was doing something else there. And so I was separating the front from the back. So you can see that is the back piece, and then this is the front piece. So now I'll just be adjusting the armhole for the front part. So I've adjusted it, and this is the way it looks. So you can see that everything is properly aligned here. The colors match, the shoulders match, all the patterns are correct. So now I'm going to be cutting out the lining for this. I'm going to be cutting out full lining for each, for both the front and the back. The only thing I would adjust in my lining is removing 1 inch, because I made use of 1 inch as my sewing allowance. So I'll be shortening my lining by 1 inch, so that by the time I turn it all the way, my allowance will be folded in and everything will sit neat. I believe you understand what I mean. So that is what I will not be showing this. So now I just, like I told you, I decided to make use of a dart. So that is what I'm trying to do now. I just divided my bust band measurement, or the nipple to nipple, into two, and then I marked it on the front from the folded part, as you can see. So I'm just going to be marking that. I marked it on my chest line, my waistline, and then my hip line. So that's what I just rolled out, as you can see. So on the hip line, I'm going to be coming up by 2 inches. Yeah. So I just saw that the camera was not capturing that, so I just want to show you very well. So I'll just come up by 2 inches from my hip line before getting my darts. Then on my chest line, I'll be coming down by 1 inch. And then in the middle, because I did not add sewing, I didn't add that allowance, I'm going to be making use of a quarter and of a quarter. So that will give me like half an inch, so that I won't run into trouble when I'm closing my fabric. Remember, I did not remember to add 1 inch for my dart, so I just want to use out of my sewing allowance. So I'll just be marking, like I told you, I'll just be marking a quarter and a quarter on each side, and that will give us a quarter plus a quarter is definitely half an inch. So what I'm making use here is half an inch, as in just managing it, because this that was like an afterthought. So you can see the way I'm connecting it. So I'll connect like so, and then I'll connect from the waist area to meet the 2 inches that I came up with from my hip line. So that is how the dart is going to be. I'm going to be sewing it like so, and that will be sewn on the lining. So I just tried to explain this on the fabric, because if I want to do this, I must have turned my lining all the way. So whatever I do here, I'll do on the other side, and then use my lining to turn it, because my lining is transparent. I can see the line from under it. That was how it was easier for me. But I would advise that if you want to do this, put the markings on the lining first before turning, so that when you want to do it, it will be easy for you. So we are through with the front piece. Now I'm going over to the back piece. So for the back piece, whatever I did on the front piece is what I'll be doing exactly at the back piece as well. The only difference is that you'll be taking your measurements after the zipper allowance. So you won't take it before the zipper allowance, because of course the zipper allowance will be in. So you mark your 4 inches from the way I marked it on the line of the zipper. So please kindly take note of that. So I've marked all the 4 inches from my chest line, waist area, and then my knee line, hip line, sorry. So I believe you all are enjoying the tutorial. So I came down for 1 inch from my chest line. Then I'll take a quarter and a quarter of an inch on the waistline, and then I came up by 2 inches from my hip line. So I'll just be connecting that just exactly the way I did it in the front. The only difference here, like I reiterated or like I said, was that you just need to start your markings from your zipper allowance for the back piece. So that is what I'm doing. So I'll be sewing it like so as well. So this kind of dart really gives beauty and fitting to clothes. If you wear it yourself, you'll be on top of the world. You understand what I mean? It gives it some kind of deja vu feeling. You understand? Don't mind me. So let me just go ahead. Like I was explaining here, that you need to short your lining by 1 inch, depending on inches you are using for your sewing allowance. Like mine, I used 1 inch, so I'll be shorting my lining by 1 inch. So that is what I will go ahead and do. So I've gone ahead, as you can see here, I've gone ahead to turn it with the lining, and I've done the dart. So you can see the dart that I did, and then you can see the length of the clothes. Like I told you, I made use of 1 inch, so you can see the folded parts went in by 1 inch. So this is the front piece. Our clothes is already getting set, so this is the front piece. I'll set that aside and then show you the back pieces. So this is one side of the back piece, as you can see. So this is how it's looking. So you can see I've already done the I've done the darts as well, and I turned it all the way around so that everything will look neat, so you can see it. So for that zipper area, lest I forget, I didn't show how I removed some to avoid bulginess from the area. I did that off camera. I didn't remember that I didn't do it when I finished cutting. So what you basically need to do is just like the way I usually do it on half length. That is exactly how you do it on your waist area. Just cut out like half an inch and then slant it all the way up, so that you would have a balanced zipper at the back. It won't be bulgy or something like that. So let me quickly go and fix my zipper. I'll take my zipper and then I'll go ahead and fix that. And then I'll take the front piece, I'll join the shoulders. I'll face the front piece on the back piece like you see me do. I'll place it like so, and then use one side of the shoulder to turn the other side so that every stitches will be invisible, and then I'll close up the sides. So that is what I'll quickly go ahead and do. So I'll set that aside and then go over to the sleeve. So for the sleeve, this is a quick one. So for the sleeve, you'd see that the sleeve is not really like the normal sleeve. It has like a little bit of it, like A at the tip, not very wide A, yeah. So it's just like, though it's a short sleeve, so I've gotten my armhole measurement plus 1 inch unfold. As you can see, I'm cutting out the two sleeves at the same time, so I have 4 pieces on the table. So I came down by 4 inches for my cap side. So depending on what your cap side is, you can use, but for most adults, between 4.5 is definitely okay, except the person is really horrible. You can go for 5 inches, but between 4 and 4.5 is always good to go for an adult. So now I now slanted from one tip to the end, and then I'm going to be getting the mid of that. So this sleeve tutorial is just to help our beginners who don't really know how to carve out or shape out their sleeve, whatever. Because being this is not a tutorial, I won't go through all the stress because I already know how I get my armhole curve. But this video is essentially for our beginners so that they would understand everything. So after getting the midpoint of the slant, you go up by half an inch and then you come down by half an inch like you saw the way I did it. Now then you draw like an inverted S and you've gotten your armhole. So for people that have like our so-called Christian mother hand or biceps, you need to take note of that as well because it's very important. Not that after cutting out the sleeve will not fit your client's hand. No, it's not good. So you need to take proper measurements. You take the bicep measurement, you mark it, you add 1 inch sewing allowance before connecting. Because some people do make mistakes of this. They'll be like, the sleeve did not enter. Those are part of the reasons why your sleeve is not entering or fitting you well. So now after drawing that inverted S curve, you need to take the measurement of your armhole to ascertain that this is where my armhole is with the sewing allowance. And then you can just do the needful. So for the lower part, I'm not going to be getting my round sleeve because what is unfold is what I want to use for my sleeve. So I'm going to be using the whole length of what I have unfold, which was 11.5 inches. So from where I marked my armhole after carving it out, I'll just slant it to meet the length of the sleeve like so. So just watch what I'm doing. So let me just do it very well so that you would see it. So you can see I just slanted it. So we'll have like a small A. It's not very wide, yeah. When you don't look at it very well, you won't know that it's A, but it's very beautiful. So I'm just cutting this out. So just follow the chalked points and then cut it out. And so voila, we have our sleeve. You can see our sleeve now. You can see the shape that it's having at the lower part. It's semi-A, if there's anything like that. So for the sleeves, you can see this is one side of the sleeve and the other is the other side of the sleeve. So you can see the way I arranged the patterns. I made this place like the lower part on the fabric and then the other side like the main, just be creative. So to this, I'm going to be cutting out the lining. I'll use the lining to turn it, and to this lining, I will just be shortening my lining by half an inch so that when I turn it all the way around, it will be neat because I'm going to be turning it with my lining. So I'll place it like so. As you can see, place in front of the fabric, that is the right side of the fabric, sew half an inch, you top stitch, and then you sew on the sides, and then you turn it out, and then you can now fix it. I believe you know how to fix your sleeves now. So let me quickly do all that and I'll be right back. So yes, I'm through with that, and then I just had to come to show you how I'm going to be attaching this net-like part. This is the beauty, where the beauty of the cloth is. So you can see I've attached the sleeve as of this point, so you can see the way it's looking. It's looking beautiful. So you can see it. So that's the front, and then this is the back. I've attached the zipper as well and everything. I've even attached the side pockets. I've attached because it has a side pocket. So to this lower part now is the net. I made use of 2 yards of a soft net, not a hard net, mind you. It's a soft net, and I made use of black color, as you can see. So I went ahead and then cut this my 2 yards into the length that I want my the net to be. After cutting it, I now joined it to be very long, and then I now folded it into 2. So after folding into 2, I now ran gather stitch on it. I ran gather stitch on it and I dragged it, and that is how it came out to be like this. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So this is how I got what I wanted, and the length is okay for me. But if you feel like the length is too long, you can go ahead and cut it. You know the way net is, just hold it together and then cut. Everything will sit perfect. So now to attach it, I did not close up the back seam. I left like 4 inches right there. I intentionally left that so that when I want to attach this my net, it will be easy for me to attach it, and then when I'm through, I'll just close it up from where I stopped, run it across the net so that everything would align perfectly. So it was intentional that I left it. But if you feel like you can just do your own, even closing everywhere, please go ahead and do that. So now I'm going to be taking the net like this. As you see me, I'll just take it like so, place it on top inside the fabric like this. Just place it like this. If you want to go higher than this, you can go, but I just felt like I should use my sewing allowance as a guide in doing that. And please always use a matching thread. So I'm going to be placing it like this, and then I'll run it all the way to the other side. And after running everything, I'll close up that place that is like a slit at the back. I'll close it up, run it across the net, and everything will be looking beautiful. So that is what I'll go and do, and then I'll be right back to show you. Yeah, so I've gone ahead to do this, so you can see it was already getting late as at here, so that's why the color of the clothes came out sharper. So you can see how it's looking beautiful, it's looking lovely. This is really, really beautiful. So if you enjoyed watching this tutorial, like I said, please kindly give this video a thumbs up. Encourage your girl, it's not easy. So you can see where I told you at the back I'd already closed it, so this gives it a very neat finishing. Yeah, you understand what I mean. So you won't even know where you joined the net and the fabric. So I'm going to be wearing it on my mannequin. Even though you've seen it, just check it out again. Thank you all to my amazing subscribers. I really love you. See you all on my next tutorial. And this is Gene Signatures, and I'm signing out. Bye.